Ho! Day 64. And day 65 of being sober, let's give it up to you, boy. If you drink a gallon of water, you can go a long time without eating. Amen, brother. Do we have different areas in which we are? Oh, we got a big day for us today. We got a big day. Your boy had a big set on the bike today. Let's go, Mark. You know, Mark's build yesterday actually hit me a little bit harder than I thought. I sat down and I started crying. No, I'm kidding. It hit me harder and I said, why don't I turn this down so I'd be able to think? There we go. This is what we need. We need to free people. I feel like Neo. Where Neo is just saying, hey, follow the white rabbit. Follow the white rabbit. I gotta be honest, Kimmy K, I don't know what's going on with Kimmy K. Kimmy K they got their feet up, they're on a beach chair. I think they're drunk, or at least a little tipsy because they are not returning from the beach. We got a lot to talk about. We are scene switching. I have no idea if anything's actually working on this because your boy should have tested this yesterday, and guess what he did? He did not test it yesterday. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I looked it up. And I said, Charles, who's your perfect? By the way, Claude had an outage yesterday. I was in the middle of crushing it. And then it said 400 error, API error. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. Claude and Claudette, not getting married today. Not getting married. We got the right chat is going to be the world in which we are creating. We have a name, by the way. We have a name of the world. Yeah, half a gallon away. I ate 2 times. Oh my gosh. Do the live testing, bro. Just put some dynamite over here, throw some over here, and just hit the switch. That's what we're all about. None of this, hey, what do I be? Let's get some API keys. All right. On the left chat, this one right here, I was saying, hey, Claude and Claudette, bring in your others. Bring in Haiku, bring in Sonnet, bring in Mythos, bring in Fable. Everybody, let's crowd around here. Everybody, let's calm it down. We're now live today. Let's pipe it down. I know I'm a substitute teacher. You're normally used to the regular guy who comes in with a yardstick and smashes your hands if you're talking out of turn. A little corporate punishment here. I said, I go on X and I see these guys banging out some wild games. Okay, whether it's one prompt or no prompt, whether it's multiple or not multiple. This guy literally throws this up there and says, by the way, I got this. Why does my worlds not look like that? That's the main. I personally would not be driving like this, by the way. But I want to create an environment that's very similar to what this guy's talking about. Why don't we come in and we have an entire world in which you can join? We have an entire world. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Do you want to see the raptors? Do you want to see them get just absolute murk a mooing cow? Or maybe you want a Triceratops who's had a little too much hay it doing and he's keeled over and his poo smells like he's had berries. Or whatever, what's his name was digging through the poo. Both of them, Kevin Costner. Is Kevin Costner still with us, by the way? I have no idea. So I said, I actually looked at this and then I saw a new thing that's coming down our way. It's called Perceptron. This is video production in the future, okay? This has the backing of Scorsese, I think, allegedly, my opinion. And all of this is going to disrupt the music industry. It's going to disrupt the video industry. And I said, heck, why doesn't it disrupt the gaming industry, the metaverse universe. So I said, okay, how do we guide people into this? That's what I thought about yesterday. I said, we need to have a one-way path. And then you also have to have tiers to that one-way path. Okay, I want a video game, I want a website, I want email management, I want a to-do list, I want a CRM, whatever the case is. You have a one-stop shop. You go to Google, one-stop shop, and it gives you the list. Do you want to buy sneakers or are you researching sneakers? Are you looking up sizes? Are you looking up styles? That's what this is going to become. And by the way, I don't want to go there, but I got to go there. I tuned into the Grandfather, not the Godfather. We turned into the Grandfather yesterday, and our boy Bridge was looking a little scattered. He was looking a little scattered. He was asking about chat. This is the future. And for the first time, I said, bro, in 200 and whatever days he's been live, this thing is going to be looking radically different. Radically different. You're going to have an area where you own a piece of the metaverse in Botenstein. We have a name for it. We have a name. Harbor Estates. Got to go with the wealth. You just put Harbor and Estates together. You go with the wealth. I went through Seatown, Homestead, Charleston, B something. I went through everything and I said, no, I want a lake. I want some sailboats. I want where you can go into stores and then the stores are owned by people and maybe you could buy skills or apps. You can go into someone's home and you can see what they're building. You can see what's offered for free. This is all what actually came out on our boy over here. And I'll just go into this. A marketplace. I said this yesterday very quickly. These are the things that we're building. Number one, and I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions on what is the best way to have a shared document that when something happens, aka yesterday, when Claude has a major outage and it literally stops the entire thing and I got to restart it. And it took a while to restart, and then I just had to do handoff prompts, and that's why I have like 15 handoff prompts. And then the whole message, brilliant message, all gone. I don't know where it went, and then I finally got it back. You have an eBay style area on Botenstein.com where someone comes there and they say, I heard you can, and they put it out there and people can bid on it. Or they come in, they say, Charles, I need X. We also have a Sims game where you get points. There's a whole marketplace behind it. It's fun because that's what we're about. Maybe people are selling music and you exchange points or actual monetary things. But at the end of the day, and someone else I respect in this game said it yesterday. He goes, what if something in your refrigerator says, hey, by the way, you're out of, and then it names it. Tell me if this is actually working. What if your refrigerator says you're out of cereal, milk, eggs? I said, that's easy. That's easy. Take it a step further. I get text messages from Todd, and Todd says, hey, listen, by the way, you haven't logged going to the gym in the to-do list, in your streaks. And then it says, hey, listen, it's been a while since you've conquered or tackled tasks. This is a holistic thing. We just need to get it up and running. This is what I was actually thinking, and I'll go into this real quick. This is what I'm actually thinking, and correct me where I'm wrong. Correct me where I'm wrong. And I wanted to actually have a chat. Let's just spin up this agent on the left side because it's been sitting there lonely. It wants to be asked out. You know, you're leaning against the gym wall. Everyone else is having a good time. Based on my build, what would you recommend is the best way to actually buy, and what is the minimum VPS that you would recommend as well? Why in the heck did the music just go down? Why in the heck did the music just go down? Nope. We need to get the audio devices. Okay, so that should have worked. Let me try it again. All right, so let's... Testing. All right, there we go. Harbor Freight. I went through everything. This sort of food app they've been thinking about for 15 years. Yeah, listen. When everything is done for you, the only thing that is left is authenticity. When Scorsese's, which I'm going to be a part of, when Scorsese's, this right here, goes live, and you take real videos, and you're able to bring up highlights, zoom in, zoom out, there is no editor at all. There's potentially just a reviewer. You're now in a world of complete automation. When you can get to video, because math is going to be easy, health is going to be easy, you get to a world in which this is all done for you. Let's go to this. So I'm floating this idea. Tell me if I'm wrong or right. Humble me, need be. Instead of having a spec in which you know what, let me start it over. So I am creating an ADE, and the ADE is not going to be like anyone else's where we have one orchestrator with the same model or even the same company doing the workers or even the harsh critics. What we're going to be doing is having an infinite canvas of any of the agents based on whatever they're good at. Open sourced, closed sourced. By the way, I have to introduce this because the thought came into my head. Ministrol, the French company, said that they have a model that is 10 times better than Fable. Are we actually believing this? Are we believing that? Ministrol just happens to have a model 10 times the quality. Little sus, as the kids say in the streets. It doesn't matter. It could be American, it could be Chinese, it could be French, it could be open source, it could be closed source. It doesn't matter. Essentially, what I want to have in the future is an ADE that calls upon the best model for that job, whether it's front end, back end, database architecture, wiring, it doesn't matter. We want to call upon the best. And essentially what I'm thinking, and correct me where I'm wrong, this is obviously not in anything coding or doing, it's more in researching. Send out Sonnet agents, so we have one Sonnet or even Opus or even Fable orchestrator coming back with a succinct answer. Instead of doing a spec markdown file where we do a lot of planning for a build or a website or an app or a feature, what we do is we have a shared contract that the orchestrator points the agents to, and the agents essentially are labeled to look only at that one contract area. Once they're done with that, at the end of the contract, there's a notification that comes back, probably through the MCP, to the orchestrator, who then triggers the harsh critic, who then reviews the contract and what was actually done, then goes back and adds addendums to the contract. Am I literally just saying spec markdown files, but just in the different wording? Or is this something different? Is it something better? That's what I'm thinking. Fable goes out yesterday. I'm in the middle of version, what am I in the middle of version over here? Version 4. So it's already gone through 3 waves of 3 versions, and then boom, it's out. And then I'm just stuck in purgatory, not knowing where the hell I am with that wave 3 of version 3. I have no idea where we are. I didn't touch it at all, and it came back API error. I went to status on Claude, down. Dario, you gotta give me a heads up when this is happening. You know, Boris, what are we doing? I'm on speed dial. Send me a Motorola pager. Jeez, couldn't even think of that word. I want to take it to the next level where you have the agents. The agents are like either a team. That's probably the best way to say it. And I'll actually say this out loud. And again, correct me where I'm wrong. I'm a very humble individual when it comes to AI. Outside of AI, well, we don't need to add in. That's just commentary, Charles. In the world of broadcasting, that's known as color commentary. Okay. Correct me if I am wrong, but essentially the way that I look at it is every single model and every single AI model by every single company specializes in something very specific, which you can obviously find out, not based on the benchmarks and not based on hearsay, but based on actual use of that model in specific examples. And there's probably 50 to 100 different examples. Someone's better at reviewing, another model is better at responsive, another one's better at speed, another one's better at research, whatever the case is. I'm completely agnostic to that. The way that I'm looking at it is AI is a bunch of players on a team. Each of the players specialize in one specific area. They all individually have a contract with the orchestrator, also known as the CEO of the team. And then as a collective, there's also a contract that they all follow to make sure that the team gets done what it needs to get done so it wins. Is this roughly an analogy of what I'm talking about? Come back with ABC building blocks, 1s and 0s, saying I'm right or wrong. All right. Inspiring to see your grind. It's been a similar vibe coding journey myself, and it's the most fun I've been in a while. Keep it up, Charles. Thank you, Nick Van der Wettering. I noticed something last week. If you don't show up, and I had this in rugby, or I had this in sports in general. In rugby, it was one of the hardest things. No. We are not coming back that fast. I want some deep research. I want some sonnet agents. I want you to spin up and spawn as many as you can and have an orchestrator come back with a more succinct answer. Use a BS meter of 95 and above only. I don't want any hearsay. I want actual industry truth and not crap and AI slop just to fill up the airwaves. I want actual papers that you trust so you can give it to me. And if you trust it, you sure as heck know I'm going to trust it. So when I played rugby, I was also in a fraternity. I didn't actually go to school. I was in school, but I didn't actually go to school. I never went to class. I didn't know where anything was. Hence my 2.8, 2.9 GPA. But when you play rugby, the coach, it's 5 days a week at 4 o'clock till 6 to 6:30, and it's hard, it's intense, and then you have a game on Saturday, and it's every single day. Doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's cold, if it's warm, if you just threw up because you're hungover, you could be sick as a dog, you gotta be there, and you gotta be doing the drills. And what I noticed is that if we skipped a day of practice because we had Labor Day or July 4th or whatever, our Saturday performance sucked. We'd go into the opposing field and just get demolished. And what I noticed is that you got to show up week 1 for week. You already know your schedule. And you already know week 8 you're going to be playing, say, Villanova. And Villanova has 3 sides and they're really good. So in rugby, that means they have 3 different teams, and A side is the best. A side is the best. B fills in for A, and then C is just there getting water. You look at week 4 and you go, our preparation is not for this week, which is playing Gettysburg, which we're going to win. Our preparation is UVA. It is playing on the road or this tournament or Villanova. Or under the lights where I got a concussion and got knocked out. And then had to go and pledge because I was in a fraternity. And yesterday ended unbelievable. But what I noticed yesterday, and it's going to sound so bad. So bad. But I got to be 100% honest. When the bridge guy got online and he was like, I'm sick, or things are going on in my life, blah, 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 and he's just going down it. Okay, so this is going into research. You know, there's a lot going on, and I got to be honest, I was literally 15 minutes into the live, and I go, this guy's going to get smoked. This guy's going to get smoked. The internet has caught up. That's what it comes down to. There's a lot of teams that play the same play. Then next season, they can't play the same play because every team understands that play and that call, and they have adjusted. And it sounds as crappy as possible. I understand it because he's the guy that started us all on this. But I'm day 64 in this. If I put in another 200 days, not 200 consecutive days because you have Saturday and Sundays off, but you put in a full year, I got desktop app, iOS app, I'm onboarding people and building their stuff for whatever amount of money. Like, we have a built out, fully functioning. On top of that, you know how psychotic I am with this? You look at any one of my docs, this is all research. This is all what I want to build. These are loops, this is prompts, this is chats, this is voice, this is browser, this is features. This is just stealing what other people have said, onboarding the future. That's just one document. That's one document. I have it for, my idea is have an agentic as I said yesterday, an auto-agentic browser. Then I took it further and say, have a custom browser. Then have a custom browser that is plugged into Botenstein.com so you have anything you want. We're not going to anything else. I don't need to go to BShot and take screenshots somewhere else. I don't need to go to use my Brave browser. I don't need to go to Garmin. I don't need to go to Strava. I don't need to go to a to-do list. I don't need to go to Google Calendar. I don't need to go to Google Drive. I don't need to go to Google Mail. I don't need to go to Google Docs. You know who also just said this? You know who just said this? Right? Where is it? Right here. CEO of Microsoft. Google already has this. They just don't call it one app. I don't know why Google hasn't put it into one app. They have all these different apps. They did combine Google Business into Google Maps, which is a pain in the ass, to be honest, and I don't curse. So that shows how much it sucked. That was the worst thing they could have done, because Google Maps is far superior than Google Business, but lo and behold, they combined it into one. Nadella, I guess that's how you say his name, he wants to put together chat, coding, co-working, and autonomous agents. Does that sound familiar? Because this just came out today. He wants to combine, and I heard this on someone I respect and someone that I've been listening to a lot. He literally said the exact same thing that we are building. What does that mean? You have a catch-all for your entire life. And I accidentally built this. All right. We got to be flexing. By the way, I don't want to say it, passenger princess. Why aren't you driving? Why don't we have a community that also has videos and specific spaces and live chat? Oh, that's weird. That's kind of almost like what you just said. So you have co-working. Oh, you have co-working. Oh, you have Life OS. You have an apps store. And you have a community. And what was the last thing? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it over my intelligence for a second. You have coding and autonomous agents. What do you think this chat right here is talking about? It is the ADE in which all of this on the internet is going to be living. You're going to have an iPhone app. You're going to have a desktop app. Granted, it's going to just be for Apple. But on top of that, my Microsoft Linux folks are going to have desktop. Same database, and you don't need the app. You could do it off of the responsiveness of mobile, desktop, whatever. But there is an area in which I thought about it, and I was like, people need games. Like, I played Tetris. I got 75,000. It was fun. We're allowed to have fun today, right, folks? We're allowed to have fun today, right? Call me the unfun person, but when I see this, these are the guys that, I'm just going to go on a 3-second rant for a second. Because why is this a thing said in the community? And I can't reply to it, but it's a brilliant way. Of course, why is this thing did not reply to me? Because I guess I'm not good enough in his world. But he brings up and he says, hey, listen, how are the big boys, multi-billion-dollar companies, so bad at this? So I'll just canvas that and I'll say enterprise. The reason that enterprise, and we got to go full screen for this because I'm about to drop some haymakers. The reason that, and we'll go back to it, the reason that Microsoft top 10, by market cap, I don't know where they are. They got to be around there. They usually have their position in the, Fortune 50. The reason is that these guys, and I worked at such a small place, I think it was like 3,000 people. They are so far removed from me, the consumer, and he says it right here. How funny is that? I didn't even read that. He literally says single product for consumers and enterprise. He could care less about consumers. He only cares about the E word, which is, as Why Is This the Thing said, is the billion-dollar companies. They are so far removed from us that's why things do not add up. They are in meetings talking about huge ideas, huge amounts of money, huge contracts, huge shifting, okay? They are not, and they might be using their own products. Obviously, they probably are. But the reason why this sounds so revolutionary to them and the CEO is because he's so far removed. When you're at a company like this, you are decades removed from the analyst, the intern, even the first AVP, assistant vice president, or even vice president. Just so, and I don't even mean like below a C-suite. I mean general manager of a Microsoft store. The problem and the opportunity, and I'm telling you right now, is that when you tune in here, when you tune into Botensten.com, when you understand what I am building, someone like Mark, who's got his feet up on my cab, like a passenger princess, with his USMC boots, in front of a beautiful tree, lots of rain, except for that grass. That grass needs to go. That barn also needs to be painted, or that house. All critical. All critical. Like the jeans color, though. Is now Mark is going to say, still calls himself Merk, okay? He's going to say, listen, I live in XYZ town. I've noticed that when I go to XYZ business, their website is janky, or the restaurants, or the dry cleaners, or the sports leagues, or my kids at the school, or the library, or the local town council, whatever the case is. All of what I just said have been reliant on the E-Boys. Should I call it the E-Boys, the enterprise? And we're crumbs that are on a beach, and we're the seagulls, and we're coming in and we're just eating whatever's left over. But there's people having full-on deli sandwiches, and that's Microsoft, that's Cisco, that's NVIDIA, that's Oracle, that's IBM, that's Meta, that's the big boys. The big boys have been passing lunch around at the same lunch table for decades. And now, and even the government too, and now, weirdly, we got some boys in town that can create whatever they want. Doesn't matter about the age, you just need to have an idea, a niche, and be different. I'm getting served up all the time. Other vibe coders. I tune in for a little bit and I go, they're just trying to make money. You know, bless their heart. They're trying to make money. But in a world where it is like gasoline, what is the difference between Sunoco, Exxon, and BP? The price. The price. You know what we call that? A commodity. You're thirsty and you're at Disneyland, you don't care if it's Dasani. You go to a CVS or Duane Reade and you see Dasani, you go, not the best. I'm going to go with Fiji. Now you have an option. And right now, we have any water we want. We can go well water, we can go river water, we can go ocean desalination, we can go Fiji. We can go and take it from the sky, and then there has to be intelligence behind it. Am I in Apple Park? Kind of looks like it, right? Kind of looks like it. All right, let's go back. All right, so this right one is the ADE. This right one, I should say, is it's calling itself the metaverse. I don't know why. It's called Harbor Estates, excuse me. Okay, Harbor Estates, where we wear dock shoes and Birkenstocks. We have nice coiffed hair. Our work boots are left outside in the mudroom. Our beds, our flat beds are clean. We have robots using the, all right, Charles. Workflow, 4 parallel agents, research is backed. 95 filter, okay. It killed the one that actually wanted to cross vendor. Okay, proof. Heterogeneous. What the hell does that mean? Starting with a $5 word. What does that mean? All the same thing? Hetero is the same thing? Yeah. Oh, no. Total opposite, actually. Consisting of different, diverse, or dissimilar. You're saying dissimilar? Mixed model orchestration beats. Okay. I could have told you that, and I haven't even graduated from AI school. Another thing I also am going to add in is something like this. Something like this. I had something written up, and it was about why I suck at making video games when a guy like this is creating, like, this is straight out of Mario Kart. Like, this is sick. Granted, he's driving like I was drunk in high school. Bad joke. But how are the graphics like that? I went here. You could turn this into an entire empire right here. The games are free. There's advertisements on the carts. Or maybe the carts are advertisements. You pay 99 cents for a month. You're on my mailing list. It's free, but you're on my mailing list. Like, this is where I want to go. This is where we want to go. We have one chat. We're building this out for a client. She offered $1,500. She wants a CRM, a back end, and a front end. She is a hair salon that takes appointments. Boom, one chat. Side hustle of a game. 007, side hustle, N64. And at that point, I was thinking about it this morning while I was getting ready to go to the gym, which I didn't want to do. And my alarm goes off now. And even though I've been sober, I wake up like I'm drunk. I almost said the S word. It's wild. I wake up and the alarm's going off and I'm like, what the heck is that noise? And then my brain has to say, Charles, you're a human being. You're this age. You got to go to the gym. And then I did intervals on the bike, dude. I was so dehydrated after my shower at the gym that I tried to put my leg through the suit pant leg. And because the suit pant leg is not like jeans or anything else, because I'm sophisticated, my leg Charlie horse, like I literally sat there in silence and I did that scene from Leonardo DiCaprio when what's her name walks by. I just did that. It hurt so bad. I was like, dude, you need electrolytes. You need lots of water. You need to hydrate. My entire bike at the gym was drenched. I was listening my last 5 intervals when I was going from minute 35 to minute 50, probably like the last 20 minutes actually. The last 20 minutes, which was 90 seconds on, 90 seconds off. So the 90 seconds was, and obviously it's fake because it's an indoor cycling bike, but I had to keep 250 watts. Some of them were up to 300 on average for 90 seconds. At the end of it, I was cooked. And I just had to listen to some real heavy metal by Christians. It's actually pretty good music, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. All right. Let's go back to this. All right, so it's saying measured from, yes, we understand we need multi-models. That wasn't the question, yo-yo. Okay, now we're bringing in Chinese. Then, et al. What does et al mean? Is that Latin or French? Someone's got to look that up. Let me know what that means. Killed outright. This is the important part. Every claim about your specific vendor. So essentially, I'll spell it out. Nobody has published a citable task-specific cross-vendor specialization benchmark. Dude, you sound like the government. Well, it's one published citable task-specific cross-vendor specialization benchmark. That's why the government should give us another $50 billion, even though we haven't done anything. Our name is Northrop Grumman. We were built on Long Island, but now we're out somewhere west, and we have alien technology. We still have not got to the... Okay, Jules. The Battle of Roswell, 1967. You're soon gonna have a president that gets assassinated in Texas. That number that you want, Model X, empirically, okay, your exact pipeline. You have a shared contract doc. The agents scoped 2 sections. You have a harsh critic. This is it. Contract net protocol. And the nearest ancestors, Anthropic's own 2020, that's way too old, 2025. That could have been like 2019. Team analogy. Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong, because I brought in the team analogy and I really want to dial this in. What I'm doing is I'm building out an ADE in another chat. And what I want to do and get ahead of it is subscribe to, say, 4 different models. And correct me where... Oh my gosh. Someone's calling. Shut up. How do we turn this off? Yes, hey Mark, how's it going? Yeah, Sam called. He wants his money back, and he wants to also do a little tumbling in jiu-jitsu. I know you don't have any pass when it comes to the rear naked hold choke, but checklist before going live. Turn phone off. Telling you, these 3-letter agencies, they're all over me. Hey, Charles, stop waking up the plebeians. You're not Neo. He's going to come back, sign a contract to be John Wick. All right, Charles, stop. People have no idea what you're talking about. All right, so correct me if I'm wrong. No, let's do this. Let's do this. He's talking to the agents. He never explains that. Enjoy the monologues. The life about Charles Boneston. Ha! Oh boy, you make plans and God's laughed at it? Yeah, I made no plans and God laughed at it. How's my life? Anyway, now I'm locked in. I was thinking about it today, getting ready, and I'm like, I'm gonna miss this setup. Once I get this thing, gosh, it's so funny how words I have to muffle the words that I used to talk. All right, so I used the team analogy before, but I want to bring it back up. We have an ADE that's going to be built out in another chat, and I want to get ahead of this. Essentially, I probably want to have 4 to 5 subscriptions. And the reason being is we're going to be building en masse people's builds, apps, ideas, projects, websites, everything. And we need, obviously, a lot of different skills when it comes to the AI models. And I'm just going to name a few. Research, development, planning, front end, back end, wiring to front end and back end, database architecture, security, speed. Beauty, user experience, minimalistic, AI forward. And I'm just obviously throwing those words out, but I'm probably going to be a part of Anthropic, OpenAI, Moonshots, Grok, and I'll have a wild card out there. And essentially, I want to canvas all of the models on what they specialize in, and only what they specialize in. Obviously, you have the general agents of OpenAI and Anthropic, but I want very specific agents as well. If I did not mention a specific agent, I want you to come back and tell me this is a specific agent for a specific job that you forgot about. Fill in all the gaps. They're each going to have kind of like a contract around them where they're called upon to do a specific job. And when that job is, again, for a website, an app, an idea, an inspiration, whatever, that is a contract. Each individual AI model has their own contract, and then you have a shared contract about what they're actually building. There's going to be a high-level orchestrator that's probably going to be Fable that has a debater on the team for SOL by OpenAI. Am I onto something? Are there any gaps? What are the gaps? Talk to me like I'm a kindergartner and a toddler. Because we want to have an infinite loop orchestration pulling on any of the models that I have subscriptions for until the job is done, with a harsh critic at each wave, and there's many waves before each version, until it goes to, and then at the end, it's going to go to a automatic agentic browser that is like Perplexity, and when it finds bad things, it adds it, and then you have an addendum. The harsh critic then comes in, and there's an addendum where the harsh critic sees that it's not passing the scoring of 98 out of 100. The critic is the addendum who then sends it back to the orchestrator, who restarts the contract, the shared contract with the addendum. Dude, I think I'm onto something. I also got to check up on this guy, see if he's all right. We might need to do CPR. In one word, are we still working? This guy as well. The biggest thing, there's two things. Number one is I have to know how to make a game. And that was this whole chat. I'm like, why do I suck at making games? Why do I suck? Well, you have a Cloudflare tunnel. It's not Cloudflare tunnels. That's security and safety and bots and everything else. Okay, good. I want to get to the point where I can call upon anything based on whatever I want. I'll give you an example. This guy right here is just video. Perceptron is just video. I think this is just the beginning of specialized agents in one specific task. And to be honest, I wouldn't be, you got Zucks over here. He might be rolling with Joe Dirt Rogan. Boy, has he fallen off. Meta says they're going to be offering their own. They got to stop. Where is it? By the way, we got to talk about China, by the way. Oh, I didn't even pull it up. Not Rogan. Rogan was good. You just got to go. Thank you, Dr. Jordan Peterson. Thank you, Joe Rogan. Okay, we've moved beyond you. Let's level up. But what's his name? In an earning, I don't know if it was an earnings call. I would have totally made that up, so I don't lie about that. Said we gotta, Zuck said this, we gotta stop relying on Anthropic and OpenAI. Okay, that's what someone says when they're in third place. The bronze medalist says that, and they're not even a bronze medalist. Of course someone's gonna say that. Hey, you guys gotta get away from this Bridgemind kid because he's making $240,000 a year. I know he's going through a rough spell, and he's got to come up to agentic engineering and bring in everything under one umbrella. He said it yesterday. I listened to about 20, 25 minutes of it because I'm always curious. He's one of the OGs. He's way more into the models and benchmarking and I can't believe this. Did you see that I could care less. I almost said the S word there. I could give a hoot. You did better, fantastic. You did worse, fantastic. Put it into practice. But he said, we got to stop. Here we go. He said it right here. Zucks urges U.S. to compete with Chinese AI models not banned. Okay, that wasn't the other one was stop relying on OpenAI and Anthropic. By the way, his glasses are arriving today, so tomorrow I'm going to have glasses. Tell me how they look. Bad answers only. Did someone just say they're going to take a nap now? Is this a man or a woman? Prime Ash? I got to go to your channel. You're not from America. Man, this guy will crush it. But he needs to read the chat. Prime Ash TN, are you from Tennessee? You know how you're going to get involved, Mark? Is the AD is out, and I had the holy crap model because I got all those subscriptions. I probably have a 200 to Anthropic. I have 100 to OpenAI. I have a 100 to Moonshots. I have a 40 to Grok, and then a whatever to Qwen, or probably Qwen. That's really the only other one, right? We're not going to go to GLM, are we? I don't care about benchmarks. So I have $500 a month in subscriptions. I got to be lean. There's something called the Lean Startup by, forgot his name, Lean Startup. Great book. And essentially this guy starts with a P, or Reese. There we go. Eric Reese. And essentially it says you got to ship. You got to ship. Charles, your first metaverse, your first Harbor Estates is going to suck a lot. It's going to be the worst. No one's going to want to go there. It's going to be unsafe. The graphics, you're going to be able to walk through trees. You're going to fall down sewers. I shouldn't even make that joke because a woman actually did die in New York City because she fell into a sewer. So rest in peace to that woman. Just shows how good our city's being run. Just absolutely one of the largest municipalities. I guarantee you know what? This is a question. If New York City was a country based on spending and GDP, where would it rank in the world countries list? Our police force is number 6th military in the world. That's disgusting. 5 boroughs alone? Obviously, we only have 5 boroughs. What a stupid... $1.35 trillion? What? 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 I didn't know it was that big. $1.35 trillion? Okay, well, I'm wrong. What? We're ahead of Mexico, who has all of our car manufacturers and drugs. Indonesia and Saudi Arabia. We're ahead of oil money. And all the girls that go yoga and then post it on TikTok because they didn't find a husband. All right, Charles. All right, this is where you lose the audience. That's crazy. I didn't know that at all. What? You just learned something new. Anyway, I don't know where I was in that rant. But I know that this is it. I have to draw it out, and I got to get this stupid thing. You know what? We're going to do this. We got to get this stupid thing up and running. Look how many apps we have. Some of these are going to be completely sunset, though. By the way, we added in, because of Why Is This a Thing is a needy ex-girlfriend, we have a file host where you can drag in files. You can create a folder. Just don't do anything stupid, all right? I already put up a safety and security so you don't, you know, but anyway. And then the other one is the prompt library. So this is known as pastebin.com. So we got our own right here. Anyway, so then you could share that. Freehand. So this is the way that I look at the world. Okay? Here is iCharles. Or, I'm sorry, Botensten. Here's Botensten.com. We have 5 models, all humming. But then we also have, see, that's a bug right there. It should continue with the same one. Okay? This is, I don't know if I'm going to do a subscription or a one-time. Say it's $1. Okay? It's $1 to buy Botensten.com. The ADE, you got to bring in your own stuff anyway. But what if Mark is making, let's actually use real numbers so it makes sense. Say it's $50 a month. But Mark has a contract with someone who is the electricians, the framers, the plumbers, the contractors, whoever. Even the construction guys, the framers, the steel guys, welders, I don't care, wherever Mark lives. Mark makes $20 a month. He would actually make more, say $200 a month. You're now making 4x multiple. 3x is ideal. If you're making $150, everyone would give $1 to make 3. If I give you $1 and you give me $3, I'm doing that every day. Hell, I'm 2 times we're doing that. If I give you 50, you give me 100, I'm doing 50, 100, 50, 100, 50, 100, 50, 100. And now you're rich. But you get back, you got to tithe. You don't just hoard it like a brat. Mark doesn't care about my success. And then you have Ashley, who is a hairdresser, and she's making $75. This is where you use Botensten.com, and now you have people underneath. You're gonna have people who use it as their main way to build, and then you have people who use Botensten ADE to build whatever they want to build. So Ashley the hairdresser is building Ashley the hairdresser website and everything else. So she makes because it saves her time and money, and she doesn't have to go through Squarespace and MailChimp and everything else and Salesforce. She's making money and saving money. So you're gonna have people who use it, like me, who build out other people's products, but then you also have people who use it to build out their own product, or who are part of the community, or who just want to hear me yap and get married and have kids and continue the Botensten name. Because right now it's not. It's getting thrown right into the clouds once I'm dead. Okay, what actually held up? The research is OpenAI's deep research models. Okay. I didn't know this about OpenAI. By the way, we just got to go to this news story. I can't believe that Sam is literally saying this. Sam is saying that they're building a family of devices. Do you know why Apple is now has been suing? I don't want to say the quiet part out loud, but I think there was a couple of boys at Apple that said, if you're not allowing us to build our own devices, we're going to go elsewhere, and we're going to go to a place that's flush with capital and going to be flush with stock options. We're going to get rich, and we're going to get an entire department of product being built. I think what they just built is the beginning part. And to be honest, as much as I want to poo-poo that stupid device that they launched for $250, a vibe coding thing, I think that's just the beginning. I think Verizon should be looking out for their $150 a month bill they're sending me every single month, because once Elon launches a satellite company for my phone, I might be signing up. The world is not just towers anymore. The world is satellites connected with Wi-Fi and fiber. Very interesting. Very interesting. When I first saw it, I was like, that's the dumbest pivot I could see in history. Going from a generalized agent into a product company. Okay, so this is recommending what I'm going to be buying. This is the next step in this chat, is getting the Hetsterner whatever up and running. Pay $4 a month, $8 a month, doesn't matter. I need to get this up and running. And obviously it could be local. I just got to get away from this one model idea. I just need to see this being, I'm pulling on OpenAI. Now we're going to GLM. Now we're going to Qwen. We're researching with Kimi K. We're building on the back end. That's what I just want to see. From there, you bring in the browser, you bring in the Sims world. You know, Wave 4 starting in Sims World. This is the ADE. This is in the cloud using any agent that you have a subscription to. I can go in and see the progress, and it continuously goes because it's pulling on whatever it wants. If she makes money, we make money. Yeah, and by the way, the scarcity mindset on X is disgusting. I just got to go on a rampage for a second. I go to this guy. I'm not on X, okay? I have like 50 followers. Okay, what do I have? I got 292 followers. Okay, I don't go on this website. I'm sent links. I know Why Is This a Thing lives on there. He's got his house there. His mortgage is there. But I see this game and I go, this is insane graphics. That you would pay for on a mass scale by Nintendo, by whoever else is a gaming console out there. Whatever the Switch, Nintendo Switch, or is that the same thing? Then you come down and literally the second thing is Pachu, who building AI agents. So he's paying for this stupid blue thing with 128 followers. This loser, this absolute loser, this one uniball loser comes in and says, lol, I would never be friends with a man ever in my life that starts any conversation with lol after someone launches something like this. If I said something funny and I said, you big pale fat Irish faced knuckle draggler, then you start lol. You don't start lol when some dude launches this. When you actually play the game and it's 12 frames per second and it's actually an incredibly unpleasant experience to even be in the game for more than 10 seconds. Charles, why aren't you on X? I don't know, maybe the first comment from someone outside of the original poster is Pachu? So a gauntlet loop is just cloning a game by verifying it against the game you're cloning it against. That's your idea? See, I got to just close it out because the absolute wrecking ball of ideas going through my head is immense right now. Those guys, if I saw them in person, you would not say, this guy I want to be friends with. Just, you didn't even know that they posted that. The guy wears an oversized t-shirt. His apartment has crust and dust balls everywhere. He hasn't cleaned his sheets in weeks and hasn't made his bed in a month. His first and last girlfriend was in 5th grade and it was by accident. Lol. Oh, I'm sorry. Why would this guy, he actually replied to this guy. Why would you even reply to this? Look at this. Man or woman, I don't know what this is. Dude, I don't want any... Stay on the other side of America or the world. I want a moat. You are not invited nowhere near the Harbor Estates. If you're in the Harbor Estates, you're cleaning toilets. And no disrespect for people cleaning toilets, because I like them better than you. They actually have a respectable job. They're doing something of caliber instead of sitting there on your $2,000 iPhone saying, "Lol, you loser." Any of those people banned from my existence. I look at this and you know what I say? How do I copy this? And I go in here and this is what it came back with. And this is what I want to post out to everybody. I want to help everybody because Dodo Face me is literally looking this and I go, hey, I literally went in and I said, hey, listen, I'm shipping crappy games. I've tried Fable into OpenAI, into potential Trippo API 3D graphics. So you take the prompt to images to then 3D. I need an asset library. I also need a framework. I need the environment. Do we go with Unity? Do we go with 3JS? I don't know. Then it says, this is what's happening to you. You got to be humble. This guy's got to be humble. Potch has got to be humble. And just be like, you know what? The world is, this is the same guy in 10 months that's going to come into my DMs and be like, so you mean you just took an ADE and then you just like slapped the metaverse onto it and then like you're shipping that out and people are paying money for it? All right, y'all, shut up. So I went in and I was like, what am I doing wrong? Why is it bad? Why can I not create the asset library? How do we do this? How do we do it for free, then paid, then professional? And I just went down and I'm like, this is an artifact. It made it just for me, but I want to share this. So when someone comes into our environment and they say, hey, Charles, how'd you create that game? I'll be like, here. I took time here. Read this. Have ChatGPT synthesize this into your own. Hello? Yeah. Anyway. Let's go to the left chat. It's just taking a lot longer. It's just taking a lot longer than I would have thought. Because the first IDE was built, but it was local, my subscriptions, unable to have multi-users, not able to go into the cloud, not built on Swift, and doesn't even, it works, but it's like, I'm not shipping trash. No way, Jose. By the way, the guy in my my gym who does everything, see, like, it works. No one's doing this. Last thing I fixed the Cloudflare tunnel outage, otherwise standing by for direction. You know, 7 seconds, 10 cents potentially. I have no idea if that's accurate. You fail, and then you come back, and then you succeed. Like, who's to say that this is not being used in the future? Or this style, I should say, not this one. And then I thought about it yesterday I just heard something bang around in my eardrums. Okay, so it talked about research is going to be OpenAI. The wiring is going to be K2, interesting. The front end should be K3, per what everyone's saying. The speed The two things that you should actually change your plan. Sol as a debate agent, drop it. OpenAI never once calls Sol a adversarial model anywhere. Well, I'm not using Anthropic again. Anthropic and Grok came back with zero proof of anything. What? 6 to 7 of your 14 job categories, zero vendor evidence behind them. I guess we got to test it then. We got to test it. Oh yeah, we forgot tester, changelog, budgeter, fact checker. What about the team analogy where I said that every single model has their own contract? Then they all come together and they are given a contract by the orchestrator, and then they all go into the shared contract, do what's in the shared contract, only what they are called upon in the shared contract. So essentially the orchestrator says, Quen, you do this, Grok, you do this, and they call specifically upon those sub-agents from the orchestrator agent. Give me the exact plan and, dare I say, exact URL of the plan that you want me to sign up for. It's a very complicated website. All right, I'm signing up today. I hate sitting back. It's going to be really hard to just sit back. All right, so let's get out of here. Individual employment contracts feeding into one project contract with a manager assigning tasks by name. That's coherent. Let me tell you what's true. Yes, construction site, every worker. Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's your per agent contract. Then there's the one blueprint for the whole house. Okay, there's the share contract. That's what I'm saying. Here's the gap, and it's the same one from before, just showing up again in the mechanism form. The foreman column only works if the foreman actually knows Kimi is the plumber. Right now, nobody, not you, not the research, not any lab. I got to use Fable then. Fable will come back and give me exactly, what am I on right now? Sonnet? Yeah, Sonnet sucks. To be honest, Opus does too. Opus burns through a lot of tokens. A lot of tokens. That's it. Once this done, I'm going to start putting contracts. Sounds like I'm a hitman. Start putting contracts out on these AI models. You know what they're saying? They're coming in trying to take our jobs over here, fellas, right? We're the dock workers. We're the dock workers. Nobody takes our contractors. These boys coming in off the boats trying to take our contracts. You gotta be kidding me. Get out of here. Hey, Tony, get a load of this guy. Fracenzo, get over here. Giuseppe, what are you doing over there? You playing with the ropes again? Put up the sail. We got a mast to hoist. We got to get out to sea. These contract guys coming in here trying to save the labor unions? Nah, none of that. Oh, boy. All right. Well, these guys... I'll just go over the news while they're just sitting there. You know what really bothered me is now we're having in the United States a complete trade war. They are not bringing in vacuum cleaners. They are not bringing in all this stuff. SpaceX is going through their suppliers. It is a full-blown Chinese-American trade war. Full-blown. You don't want to come to the United States? We're going to give you some, hey, you down. That's essentially what they said. You don't want to meet with our Congress? Hey, you down. Here's an idea. How about we get better? Chinese demands. How about this guy actually brings back his ego for a second? I understand people think his ego. How about you bring back the ego that we're like, hey, listen, let's be a 100-dash sprinter in the 1996, 1994 Atlanta Olympic Games, and you got America behind you? He's lost his mojo, boys. Continuing on. Super app. How funny is that? I got to be honest. There's a couple of, and this guy's still going. I'm telling you, Kimmy K had a big splash, and then that was it. It did a cannonball. All the water went outside the pool. We filled the pool, waited for another cannonball, and then nothing happened. I'm not renewing that at all. They just don't ship anything. It's like the opposite of any other models. This is very interesting, by the way. If Xbox is losing $150 on a $800 product, the United States manufacturing is screwed. That is a fact. That is a fact. You're talking about lots of vendors, lots of rare earth materials coming together to be shipped to the United States at $800. What is the next iPhone going to be? What is the next Mac Studio going to be? What is the next NVIDIA server going to be? What is any server going to be? Not too fond of these three fellas getting together in the same bed. But hey, what are you going to do? By the way, what did I just say? What did I just say? I brought in the blue collars, electricians, carpenters, plumbers, and other skilled trades. They'll pay you a lot of money. But I got to be honest, I don't know if I want to be in that company. I don't know if I want to be in that company. All right, let's look at the site for a second, because I can't just sit here, wait for these stupid things to finish. Sim style game is going. I was thinking of the marketplace. Botenston.com. We got to take down the articles. Will probably turn into learning or something like that, where instead of articles, I'm putting up the artifacts about how to build a better video game. And we got to start a new chat. We got to start a new chat. All right, he's dropping messages.
Short answer, no. The orchestrator is the execution plane. It launches, routes, pauses, cancels, and joins agents. Fate UI is the control surface you use to direct it and see the work. Shared instructions are not memory. They are scoped rules for a run, permissions, tools, budgets, and what each agent is allowed to do. Memory is durable notes that may survive across runs. The rules are configurable, not baked into a model, and it does not poll 10 agents with 10 full transcripts. Updates are event-driven. Start, tool completion, dependency resolution, status change, or your own steering. The UI keeps full traces inspectable while the parent receives compact status and evidence, with safe pagination when it needs detail. 10 agents do not make hallucination disappear. We contain it with narrow roles, explicit limits, untrusted outputs, and verification before action. Fast models work when the job is bounded. Higher risk work gets stronger models or a check. That is the point of Fate UI. One steering wheel for the human, clear execution for the agents, and evidence you can inspect.
Education 101, boys and girls. Yeah. Can we just go back to that first one? Is it gonna pop up that it said foreign purchases? Foreign purchases of homes are the lowest it's ever. Well, when the interest rates remain around 6.5 to 6.75, when cash is not as abundant, when you are taking people's will and desire to have a better future, then of course people are going to be pissed off. And when you see numbers like this, People do not know what to do. Like, they have no idea what to do. They have no idea. They were told to sit at the seat, hear the bell ring, collect your textbooks, put it in your bag, go to the next classroom, sit down, shut up, pay attention, take this test, keep going, go to school, go to college, go to graduate school, go to this. We just want to be entertained. We just want to be entertained. I'm going to just scope this idea because it's bothering me in the back of the head. Let's put this on Opus. Let's put it on Fable, actually. What I want you to do is send out some Sonnet and Haiku agents that are going to be doing some research. Essentially, what I'm looking at is an area potentially on Botenston.com. It's going to be a marketplace that when we have a ADE that is up and running and I'm able to configure pretty much any app on an infinite continuous orchestration loop, any website, any design, that people are going to, actually no. Let's not do that yet. That's too early. That's too early. Let's take that out. Let's put that down here. Yeah, like how do you go from the assets into an actual, that is what I need to learn. That's what I need to learn. All right. I don't want to call it, but we might be calling it an absolute monumental pancake of a day. This just needs to, like, holy cow. Like, I'm all about orchestration, but if I can't orchestrate this in the cloud on a continuous loop using multiple agents and multiple models, we got to start. We got to start going somewhere. That's for sure. That's for sure. And I hope they have the Minstrel story. They don't. Wow. Aspen home sales drop a third after record low snow season. Holy cow. I know someone who lives out there, and he was trying to sell his house. And I gave him 5 pointers to give to his real estate agent. See, this is the chip I was talking about. Samsung says they discovered this. I said this last week. They discovered a chip that is 2 nanometers, and obviously orders double and everything else. Fantastic. Congratulations, Samsung. We are going to find out and figure out and discover and invent different technology that we don't need these massive 50-acre, 100-acre, 250 acre data centers that's sucking in electricity and water, and the public hates it because soon we're going to have it on our cell phone. Just like an entire computer was an entire room at one time, and now it's on your cell phone. That's why the entire desk of a normal human being in 1998 is in your cell phone. Samsung will come up with something, someone else will come up with something, and we'll be able to have local models on our cell phone, LLMs, what's his name, whatever that open source LM Studio says they're now mobile. They're now on mobile. You can control it mobily. I don't think you can have open source on your cell phone, but you can control your mobile, or from your mobile phone, you can control LM Studio on your desktop. So I don't even maybe need Anthropic on my cell phone, who shares the same subscription as my desktop. You know? The three things that I got to look into is we got to look into Hetzner. We got to sign up. I got to be able to have to get the game graphics down. I got to. I'm going to read this entire thing and just go back and forth. Where is it? Game graphics. I'm going to read this entire thing. Unfortunately, it made it too specific to what I was talking about, which was the sim style game, which I want to build for the Botenston world, and also the riding game. Like, look at this riding game. It's still embarrassing. Dude, this is embarrassing. The guy's not even... Oh, they fixed a little bit. Holy cow, this guy was off his bike 10 feet. You know? Like, this is what Zwift looks like. It's a little bit better. But Zwift was actually built with C++. Zwift, there we go. By the founder. The founder built this with C++. So it's intentionally bad graphics. And it's intentionally supposed to run on any computer, any laptop, any PC, any tablet, any cell phone, anything. As bad as it is, as good as it is. So I understand that in today's world, we're improving that. This also has to improve. I'm actually gonna put this in here. Fable, yeah, we'll Fable's gonna be the orchestrator on this build. I use this a lot, and it needs to improve a lot. Send out and spawn as many Sonnet and Haiku agents as needed to rip through the entire codebase interface, the user experience, all of the tools on the left side, and come back with a plan that is clearly synthesized into a contract that you name in there the specific agents in which you want to call upon within that contract. The specific agents have a clear objective, with each of the agents being named or labeled, and then it's run through a harsh critic by Fable. It has to clear from the contract a 98 out of 100. If it doesn't, then you loop into an orchestration with an addendum from the harsh critic back to the orchestrator to restart, and you continuously do this until you are improving this 100 times to make this much better, much more usable, based on any research from Haiku and Sonnet that is necessary in the beginning to make sure the plan is perfect. We'll try it. We'll try it. You got to eat your own taste buds. I don't even know what that means. Like, this needs to have a live chat, better map, live people, could talk to each other, hooked up to your heart rate monitor, hooked up to your kicker. Obviously, I can't do any of that because it's not hooked up to my kicker through Bluetooth. But this would be saving me $250 a year, because I'm never going to stop this over 10 years. 250, so that's $2,500. What if I built this and then I offered it out for $5? And anyone can join. Or maybe it's free for people that are part of Botenston.com. You get a docs area. You get a... I kind of like the prompt that I just said. You get a docs area. You get your own calendar, your own integration of your Garmin watch, Apple Watch, Oura Ring, to-do list, checklist, calendar, hook up your money. You also have a workspace. You also have a games area. You can code. You also have a community. It sounds ambitious, but to be honest, based on how easy it was to create Boatenstein.com here, like, I can't see myself stumbling on anything.
Yeah, this guy needs more of a nerd voice.
I'll leave it on this. I'll leave it on this. Our boy up above said something about showing up. I was out at the suburbs outside New York City, and the fire alarm went off. And I was literally right by, it's a tiny town, small town. They have maybe 2 engines. They also have 2 captain trucks or fire chief trucks. Alarm goes off. It's all volunteers, obviously. And it was a false alarm, even though all the volunteers showed up. They kind of just met. The fire chief went out, came back, false alarm. All of the guys showed up anyway. All the firemen showed up anyway. They're volunteers. They're not getting paid anything. They have a duty to their community, probably against what their wife wants because they're probably in dinner. It was around 7:30. They're leaving dinner. Their kids are saying, "Dad, where are you going?" Whatever. That's what it's like when you're in this position. You're showing up. I got a new camera battery, $75. I got a new area for my computer, $30. Added in a new subscription here, a new subscription there. Upgraded to better, a lot of things. Better bike, better goggles. There's money being pushed out, and there's no money coming in besides what I made, and then hopefully this deal goes through. That's like showing up to a false fire. Obviously, it's not 1-in-1, but you still got to show up because you never know when it's game time. And game time, I don't know when game time is going to be. I don't know when game time is going to be. But when game time is coming up, I go, all right, this is how you do the video games. These are features that I want. This is the way I want it orchestrated. Here's the voice. Here's the nerd voice. Here's the voice. Here's the chat. Here's the browser. Here's the clients. Here's the loops. This is what I do off string. Here's the prompts. In other words, I'm ready. I'm ready. So when this guy comes in, Pachu comes into Matt Shummer, whatever you say, this very nice gentleman right here. Look how kind. How do you yell at that guy's face? Granted, I don't know what the heck he does, and I have no idea who he is, but he has 300 and something thousand followers. Okay, there you go. 377,000 followers. So he's known to the community. Heck, I'll give him a follow. Just for that. Matt Shummer puts out his 130,000 views. Charles Boatenstein puts out his. It's a game. And then we got Pachu coming in. It's because of reading through this. And that's what I'm going to do after the chat. And I'm going to re-listen to this. That video is way too solid for a live stream. You know, Tom Brady came in because Mo Lewis took out Drew Bledsoe. I'm a Jets fan. Barely. And Tom Brady played at Michigan, took over some guy's quarterback in this, I think, whenever year. Then came into the game, I think in the second half of some big game, won the game, and he gets historically pulled 199 because he looked like a dad bod at 21 years old. Comes in, Took Drew Bledsoe, who at the time was a stud. Took his job, never looked back. Won a Super Bowl. Won another, and then goes to another team and wins another. That guy's not sitting on X doing stupid posts and saying, lol. What he's doing is putting this in to a VPS. I think I gotta take my own lap. I gotta sign up for Hettinger, however you say it. I got a lot of work to do. I got a place that's coming on the market next week. Tomorrow's a Friday, then I go into a long weekend of 3 hours on the bike, probably a 40-minute run, hour run with a 30-minute bike on Sunday. This better be working. This needs to be working. That's what it comes down to. What's up, bro? What are you building? Dude, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm thinking Boatenston.com. I think Boatenston.com is going to be, I wrote this down on my Apple bringing it in. It's going to be learning section with artifacts. So that's like beginner's guide. Because for me, what's a CLI? What's an MCP? What do you mean by orchestration? What do you mean by loops? What do you mean by everything that I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know about Claude Code, but I do know that Kimi K sucks. I also do know Opus 5.0 sucks as well. I'm very close to getting an OpenAI. I think, you know, the vision I have is so clear. It's like Elon when he built the first two rockets and they exploded on coming down from the sky. And then he, whether it's true or not, or it's just, you know, an urban myth, urban legend, not urban myth, but an urban legend, he calls upon everybody, gives him X amount of money to get the third rocket to go up and land by itself, which is an unbelievable feat, to be honest. That is an insane engineering feat. That is a freakish engineering feat. I don't think people understand how, I don't even. Some just knob in New York City has no idea, but knowing landing a rocket on 3 legs. Meanwhile, this guy, well, I can't even bring it up. This guy can't even drive a video game car. The way that I saw it this morning, I'll leave it on this and I'll pop out. The way that I saw it this morning is you go to Boatenston.com and you know how you have Lovable? I had this last year and I actually ripped it. I ripped it into a voice note. I wish I still had it, but you essentially have a model go out and it says, oh, this is what you want to build. It's going to cost you X amount of dollars. Is this what you're okay with? And it's essentially a bidding system. And I wake up in the morning to the bidding system and I build that person whatever they want based on a 30% or 40%, whatever, profit margin. So it's going to cost $400-500 token dollars, because obviously, yeah, my time is there. But if I have a infinite agentic loop until it's done, and I don't mean infinite where it goes on until it's done. And obviously that's going to take a lot of time right there, because I want to bring in a tester with a custom browser tool to be like Perplexity, click around it, see where it's broken, see where it's not working. You have to edit, you have to delete. If it's a CRM, you have to create a new, you have to send emails, make sure the API is working for everything like Stripe and resend and, you know, anything else that you're doing. But they go in and it's a very close to lovable screenshot or Google screenshot, their homepage, where they just go, this is the only thing we got. It's the only thing we got. But who's to say that someone doesn't download the ADE that we are creating? They don't download Orbit. And now they're the captain of their town. And that town has no idea about Charles Botenston because only about 150 people watch this. But they're just humming. They're humming. They're building out whatever they want to build out, whether they're getting their marketing from in-person, online, or whatever, or they're calling up real estate agents or banks or whatever. And they're humming. And the amount of money they would make is insane. But then as the person who's creating this, I would have my own projects. I know a guy that was vibe coding. This guy said, hey, listen, I'm a XYZ. I think he owned 3 whatevers. Say he owned a pool company. The pool company needs a website. It needs maintenance. It needs scheduling. It needs referrals. It needs coupons. It needs a CRM. It needs an appointment booking machine. It needs a lot. You need a front end and a back end and another back end for the client. Hey, listen, I'll give you 10 grand, build this out for me. I'll give you 5 grand, build it out. That's where I want to get. And now they own it. It's not a recurring revenue. You want to make a change? Let's talk about the change. I think that's the future. An upfront one-time fee so long as you deliver it. It's like construction. It's not like construction and then you pay me. That's what everyone is about. They said it on CNBC that people are, they call it subscription fatigue. Subscription fatigue. I don't think people want to add in more subscriptions unless they're getting enough out of it. They already have their entertainment subscriptions, whether it's for internet and TV and phone and streaming devices. Then they got their regular oil and gas and mortgage and car payment. They're on subscriptions all day, just paying monthly bills all day. They're not going to add in another whatever dollars once I build it and I host it. No, you host it on your own computer or you put it into a VPS and now it's on whatever. Cloudflare, Hettinger. Still got to know how to say that name. Yeah, Opus 5, I do not like at all. 3 days ago, it put me in this exact position of burning through everything. Burned through a $200 session plan within 28 minutes, and the other one was within an hour. So within within about 90 minutes, I burned through $400, two $200 session plans because of Opus 5. And to be honest, it wasn't good. It didn't produce anything of value. So I don't know what is going on with Anthropic releasing that. I don't know what Google is about releasing Gemini. That model was terrible. I don't even know what Moonshots was about of throttling Kimi and the speed of it. The last thing I know or saw was like 18 tokens a second. Might as well be on dial-up. There's got to be a reliable, and of course, people are going to say OpenAI and everything else, but there's just got to be a reliable company out there that produces. This guy is still thinking. Just thinks. All I said was take the gallery and make it into you had 132 steps. You have 79 steps, 76 steps. Like, fantastic. Shows you're doing a lot of steps. But you've now completed 400 steps. We got to get somewhere. I do 400 steps in New York City. I'm in a different neighborhood. Okay? You set a to-do list, you do it. You set a to-do list, you do it. Okay, fantastic. Do I have to put you on a $200 plan? What do I get then? The same speed? I think that's what people are just not happy about, is the speed and the tokens. And to be honest, at this point, I think we're good enough to have an agentic experience right now. It's not perfect. It will never be perfect because we're always going to want more. We're always going to want better. We're always going to want it faster. Kind of what Jeff Bezos said. People are not going to wish for paying for shipping. They're not going to wish that their whatever came in 4 days instead of 3 days, even though in New York City, what they're doing now is, yeah, I was a little shocked on how Moonshot did that because they are looking to, I think, IPO. Ironically, in Hong Kong, which they now own as a territory or in whatever. But you can't go to market the way that Moonshot is. The same way that OpenAI and Anthropic is not IPOing right now. They saw what happened to X. They're not IPOing in this market. There's a lot of money flowing to investments. Not a lot of them are going to public companies. A public company would be listed on the stock exchange. That's really what it comes down to for me, is something safe, something secure in the stock market, and then hammering away on my expenses to keep it as low as possible. Not going out to the salad place to eat, going to Whole Foods, getting the salad, getting the squeeze of the lemon, getting the olive oil. By the way, you know what I looked up? Where's my perplexity? Talking about protein, I was on the train today. Look at this. It says per kilo, 2 grams per kilo per day. Got to be honest, nowhere near that. I looked what I'm taking on my protein, nowhere near that. I have 2 scoops, I get 30 grams. So I need a lot of scoops. I would actually almost have half of my canister to get up to this. And it says 2.3 if you want to preserve lean mass, which I got to as an triathlete. So, Opus Burns, check the feed. All right, this is the last thing we'll do. I said that before, but today was here we go. The first profile sandbox exposed static agents but lacked command execution, so I'm correcting that now. Rather than treating estimates as measurements, the baselines will be captured. Okay. Baseline is now objected the main local bottleneck. SQLites. I'm moving to the UI polish pass now. What does that say? The generated artwork constrained to a subtle supporting layer. Interesting. Is that, what model is that? Sub-agents now officially in. You can use multi-provider setup, meaning your main agent doesn't have to be from the same AI provider. You can manually steer and mention agents directly in chat and see the exact, so you named each agent, not in installer form, but if you clone the repository and compile it yourself, you can use it. To do point SSH remote access to Fate UI, so it would be able to use your phone to directly vibe code on your device. Soon. Got it. What you should do is go to Bridgeminds and just start marketing this. Oh my gosh. Using Terra on high. So you use 33 cents. Is that an accurate number? Well, it is only 9,500 tokens. And then what are these guys? Red. So is that your orchestrating agent? Terra? I gotta look up the difference between Sol and Terra. And the other GBT. Because they did a big dump and I did not in a bad way, not like number 2, but... Oh, right here, delegated test, roll. You are the Terra Polish Builder. Well, it's on Windows. So you can cover the Windows world and I'll cover the dumb. Yeah, he tapped the... tapped it. Yeah, well, that's playing, to be honest, I thought about it this morning because they were talking about, they had some guy on and I'll go there because I don't care. I thought about it. I don't even know what macros are. Is that like potatoes? I thought about it. Whether his body's in there or not, I have no idea. That's up to this Protestant sect right here. Clearly, it's not a Catholic church. And it's Lindsey Graham. He was not, you know. Anyway. Ladybug event? What the heck is a ladybug event? But there is an afterlife. And I'll just say it, the way he went, I'll throw out the CT, the theorists of the conspiracists. I think it was on purpose. And bye-bye, he went. And his soul's somewhere right now, that's for sure. And you can't actually say where it is, but, or they don't say who's not in heaven. That's the best way to say it. But based on the lifestyle, based on his talking points, you just got to pray for it because that is forever. Forever. You're not getting out. You can't get out. There is no getting out. I think about that a lot. You can't get out. All these guys, you got all the worldly success, you got all the money, you got all the fame, you got all the power. You're the big dog. You're the big dog at this agency. You're the department head. You get into a car crash, boom, your soul is somewhere. You're the big dog of LG. You've been around since 1990 something. You've been in the industry for 30 years, in DC for 35 years. Something happens. Rocket, intentional, not intentional, don't want to go down those rabbit holes. Your soul is now somewhere. Forever. So, anyway, what a happy way to end that. I think about that a lot. Because when I was actually, when I had my experiences of the unnatural world, you look into people that have experienced that, but they actually had a near-death experience. They descended or ascended, either way, and they had an outer body experience, and they saw themselves and everything else, and they talked about it. It is not a place that you want to be even for another minute. You don't even want to be there for a minute. That's what they talked about, let alone, anyway. No, I know, he taps it. He taps it, I saw it, you know. Pray for that guy. I don't think it's going to end well for him on Earth or after Earth, unfortunately. But at least he made his riches. I already can theorize why he turned. away from, you know, what he wanted to do, or at least from his first term. I have my theories. Anyway, these guys are finally moving. And it happened after Butler. All right, well, wild one to end at. ADE still going slow. We're going to be looking up Sol and Terra, all the other GBT models. I'm going to be doing deep research. I'm actually going to literally print this out on games. I think the games, and this isn't like, oh, Charles is going to become a gamer. He's going to have, yeah, we're going to have games, but I think games for me is going to unlock a world in which is so different. What if now you have an experience about how pools are cleaned and you're the local pool guy? You know, your website takes someone through a journey from the phone call all the way. Your pool stinks, it doesn't look good, it's unsafe, it's unsanitary, nobody could swim in it, your dog, your kids, everyone's gonna get sick. And it takes them on a web journey as you scroll. And I could bring in some of those gaming elements. That would help. And that's the wow factor. That's the wow factor that you get from, I forgot what they call it. It's like the taken apart effect. Say you go to, I think this came out. As you scroll, see, this isn't a good way to, they usually have it where the thing comes apart and then goes back together. Yeah, they don't have it. But essentially, Apple has it, and they usually have it for their, let's try it, the iPhone. You know, wow, their website stinks now. What the heck happened to them? Their websites are brutal. What's an expensive product? Let's go to the Apple Vision. Oh my gosh. What? What happened? Vision? Give me a better, yeah, like this is an excellent example. Charles, I want a website that details exactly what happens when they come to a restaurant, when they are coming in for an appointment, when they're, you know what? Let's use this AI model who's going to create a Remotion, a HeyGen, a 11 Labs, or whatever, bringing in the assets. This brings the website alive. So I think video games for me, or at least how games and assets come together using a library, and who's to say over the course of a couple of months, we're not building our own library, we're reusing the same assets and upgrading the same assets. So now we're not going to a library where we're paying $30. Like one of these said, it's $30 to use our library. I'm not spending $30 a month for your library, sorry. But I do have to upgrade my bike riding. So, I am gonna come back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing a full session, a full 70.3 swimming session. That's 20, how many yards? How many yards, 2,100? How many yards is a full 70.3 Ironman in the pool? Or how many yards is that? I gotta hit the men's room, so bad. 21 and change. Okay, I gotta do 2,200 yards. Tomorrow, 10:30,